Commander Sung stepped off the Earth shuttle onto the gleaming floor of Galactic Station 1. This was his first time representing humanity at the Galactic Council. His heart beat fast as he looked at the many alien species around him. Some had 6 legs, others had wings, and a few seemed to float without any legs at all. "Welcome, human Sung," said a tall blue alien with a translator badge. "I am Guide Kyo. Please follow me to the welcome ceremony." Sung walked through wide hallways filled with strange plants and moving hologram signs. He had studied for years for this job, but nothing prepared him for seeing so many aliens in one place. The main chamber was huge, with thousands of seats arranged in circles. At the center stood King Tae of the Mach Empire. The Machs were an old and powerful species with gray skin and small ridges on their heads. They looked almost like tall humans, except for their silver eyes and the patterns on their skin. "Humans," King Tae said in a deep voice. "Always late to join the galaxy. We have been waiting for your kind to grow up." Some aliens laughed. Sung kept his face calm even though he felt angry inside. Earth had worked hard to develop space travel. After the ceremony, Sung went to a dinner where each species shared their food. He tried not to make faces when eating something that looked like blue jelly. "It's made from star algae," said a soft voice beside him. "The taste gets better after the 3rd bite." Sung turned to see a female Mach watching him with interest. She was shorter than the other Machs, with lighter skin and smaller head ridges. Her eyes were a warm gold color instead of silver. "I'm Princess Yuna," she said, "daughter of King Tae and chief scientist of our fleet." "Commander Sung of Earth," he replied with a small bow. "Thank you for the food tip." Yuna smiled. Most new species just spit it out. They talked about science and space travel. Sung was surprised by how easy it was to talk with her. She knew more about Earth's history than he expected. "Your planet interests me," she said. "Your people adapt so quickly. It took my species 10,000 years to develop space travel. You did it in less than 500. Over the next few weeks, Sung met with many alien diplomats. Most were not friendly. They called humans primitive apes and laughed at Earth's small fleet of ships. But Princess Yuna was different. She invited Sung to see the Mach science labs. They spent hours talking about quantum physics and star mapping. When other Machs weren't around, she showed him her personal projects. "My father doesn't approve of my research," she admitted one day. "He thinks I waste time on small details, but I believe the small things matter most." Sung noticed that other Machs treated Yuna strangely. They showed respect because she was the king's daughter, but they kept their distance. "Why do they act that way around you?" he asked one day. Yuna looked sad. "In Mach culture, appearance matters. My skin is too light, my ridge is too small. I am considered unattractive." "That's ridiculous," Sung said without thinking. "You're beautiful." She looked at him with surprise. Humans have strange taste. After that day, they began meeting in secret. Yuna showed Sung hidden parts of the station. They watched stars born in distant nebulas through special viewing ports. She taught him Mach poetry, and he shared Earth music with her. One night, sitting together watching a comet pass, Sung realized he had fallen in love with her. When he told her, she touched his face gently. "Our species are very different," she said. "Does that matter?" he asked. She smiled. "Not to me." Their relationship grew stronger in secret. But secrets never last long in the Galactic Council. 3 months later, Yuna went to her father with news that would shock the entire galaxy. "Father," she said, standing tall before the Mach King, "I am carrying Commander Sung's child. Our species are compatible." King Tae's silver eyes widened in shock. His voice boomed through the royal chamber. Impossible, but it wasn't impossible. And by the next day, every species in the Galactic Station knew that a human had impregnated the Mach princess. The laughing began immediately. News of Princess Yuna's pregnancy spread through Galactic Station 1 faster than light speed. By morning, every species knew that a human had somehow managed to impregnate the Mach princess. "The Council demands an emergency session," announced the tall insect-like vet ambassador, his antenna twitching with excitement. Commander Sung stood in the center of the great circular chamber. Thousands of alien eyes stared down at him. Some whispered behind claws and tentacles. Others laughed openly. "Is this some kind of human joke?" asked Ambassador Rock of the Trill Federation. His purple skin darkened with amusement. Or perhaps the human couldn't find a mate among his own kind. Laughter echoed through the chamber. Sung kept his back straight and his face calm, though inside, he felt both anger and fear. King Tae sat on his high throne, his silver eyes cold. Princess Yuna stood beside her father, her head held high despite the mockery. "Order," called Elder Nari, the oldest member of the council. Her small body floated, in a gravity chair. "This is a serious matter that affects all species." "Serious?" Ambassador Rock laughed again. "It's absurd. The human must have been desperate indeed to mate with the most unattractive mock in the Empire." More cruel laughter followed. Sung saw Yuna's face tighten with pain, though she didn't lower her eyes. "I will not apologize for loving Princess Yuna," Sung said loudly, his voice cutting through the noise. "Judge us by our actions, not by your fear of what is different." The chamber grew quiet. "Love?" King Tae finally spoke, his deep voice rumbling. "You speak of love between species? This is against natural order." "With respect, Your Majesty," Sung replied, "if it were against natural order, Princess Yuna would not be carrying our child." Elder Nari floated forward. "There is precedent. The ancient records speak of cross-species compatibility, though such information was restricted long ago." This caused angry muttering among the older species. Something important was being hidden, Sung realized. "I propose," said the snake-like Zith ambassador, "that we study this unnatural pregnancy. For science, of course." His forked tongue flicked out. "I bet 10,000 credits the offspring will not survive birth." "I accept that bet and double." "It," called another ambassador from the upper rings. Soon a betting pool formed. How long would the pregnancy last? Would the child have mock skin or human hair? Would it live past its first day? King Tae slammed his staff against the floor. "Enough. My daughter is not a science experiment or a gambling game." Everyone fell silent, surprised by the king's defense of Yuna. After the session ended, Sung found himself cornered by 3 mock guards. "The king wishes to speak with you." "Alone," said the biggest guard. Sung followed them to the king's private chamber, wondering if he would leave the room alive. King Tae dismissed the guards and stood looking out a viewport at the stars. "You have brought shame to my house," he said, without turning. "I have brought love to your daughter," Sung answered. The king turned, his silver eyes narrowed. "You know nothing of our ways. Yuna has always been different, too curious, too independent. Her appearance made finding a suitable mock mate impossible." "Her appearance is beautiful," Sung said. "To a human, perhaps." King Tae sighed. "What am I to do with you both now?" Before Sung could answer, Elder Nari floated into the room. The ancient alien nodded to both of them. "Commander Sung, what do you know about the Galactic Council's history?" "Only what Earth was told," he admitted. "Then you don't know the real reason certain species fear this pregnancy." She moved closer. "Several dominant council species are facing reproductive decline. They've hidden this fact for centuries." King Tae looked surprised. "Is this true?" Elder Nari nodded. "Human genetic adaptability threatens them. If humans can successfully breed with mocks, they might save many declining species." "So they mock. It's because they fear us?" Sung asked. "Precisely." Elder Nari's wrinkled face formed what might have been a smile. "And they have good reason to fear. I received this message from Earth's science team." She showed them a data screen with complex DNA patterns. "Your child's cells are already showing remarkable adaptation. This pregnancy shouldn't be possible, yet it thrives." As they spoke, Sung's communication device beeped with an urgent message from Dr. June on Earth. "Commander, analysis shows unprecedented genetic bonding. The child may develop abilities from both species. Protect Princess Yuna at all costs." Some will see this child as the greatest threat the Council has ever faced. Dr. June arrived at Galactic Station 1 with 4 large cases of equipment. The Earth scientist had dark circles under his eyes after the long journey. Commander Sung met him at the docking bay. "How is she?" Dr. June asked immediately. "Growing stronger every day," Sung replied. "But the mock doctors don't understand what's happening to her body." They walked quickly through the station. Guards followed them at a distance, not for protection, but to watch their every move. The news of the human mock pregnancy had made them both famous and dangerous. Princess Yuna was in the royal medical chamber. Her normally gray skin now had a soft glow, and faint patterns like stars appeared across her arms. "Commander," she smiled when she saw Sung. Her golden eyes were brighter than before. "And you must be Dr. June." Dr. June bowed slightly. "Princess, may I scan you?" She nodded. As Dr. June set up his equipment, mock scientist Huan entered the room. He had been assigned by King Tae to monitor the pregnancy. "Your Earth technology is primitive," Huan said with a sniff. Dr. June ignored the insult and began his scans. His eyes widened as he studied the results. "Impossible," he whispered. "What is it?" Sung asked, worried. "The fetus. It's changing Princess Yuna's cellular structure." Dr. June looked up in amazement. "Her DNA is adapting to match the baby's needs." Huan pushed him aside to look at the readings. "This cannot be correct. Mock DNA is fixed at birth." "Not anymore," Dr. June said. "The human genes in the baby are teaching Yuna's body how to evolve." Yuna placed a hand on her growing belly. "I feel stronger each day, my senses are sharper." "The pregnancy should be killing both of you," Huan said bluntly. "Instead, it's improving your biological functions." Over the next weeks, Dr. June and Huan worked together to study these changes. The baby was developing features from both species, human-like eyes but with the golden color of Yuna's, skin that looked human but had faint patterns like mock markings. "The child is taking the best from both species," Dr. June explained to King Tae during a private meeting. "Human adaptability with mock strength and lifespan." King Tae looked troubled. "The council grows more concerned each day. Some species want this pregnancy ended." "They fear what this means," Sung said. "If humans can breed with mocks, we might be compatible with other species too." Elder Nari joined their meetings regularly. One day she brought ancient records stored on crystal drives. "These were sealed by Council Order 10,000 years ago," she said, her voice low. "They contain studies of cross-species breeding from the early days of the Council. The records showed that humans weren't the first adaptive species the galaxy had seen. Long ago, another race called the Forerunners had similar abilities. They had been systematically eliminated because they threatened the genetic purity valued by older species." "History repeats," Elder Nari said sadly. One evening, Yuna and Sung attended a diplomatic dinner. Representatives from 20 species watched them with mixtures of disgust, curiosity, and fear. "How does it feel to carry an abomination?" asked a Trill ambassador loudly. Before Sung could defend her, Yuna stood. Her golden eyes flashed. "My child is not an abomination. My child is the future." Suddenly, 3 masked figures rushed into the hall. They carried weapons aimed at Yuna. "Death to the hybrid," one shouted. Everything happened very fast. Guards moved to protect the royalty. Diplomats scattered in panic. Sung jumped toward Yuna, but he wasn't fast enough. Yuna moved with incredible speed. Her hands caught the first attacker's weapon and bent it like it was made of paper. She kicked the second attacker across the room. The third fired his weapon, but Yuna moved aside so quickly that she seemed to blur. When the guards finally secured the attackers, everyone stared at Yuna in shock. "How did you move so fast?" King Tae asked his daughter. Dr. June scanned her immediately. The pregnancy has enhanced her muscle density and nerve response time. She's 3 times stronger than a normal mock now. That night, after the excitement died down, Sung and Yuna sat together in her chambers. "I was scared," Sung admitted. "Not of the attackers, but of losing you both." Yuna took his hand and placed it on her belly. For the first time, he felt their child kick. Our baby is strong, she said, like both its parents, and feared by half the galaxy, Sung added. Let them fear, Yuna said with a smile. Change always brings fear. But after fear comes understanding. Our child will help build bridges between worlds. As if in agreement, the baby kicked again, stronger this time. A new life, a new possibility, growing stronger each day despite what the galaxy thought was impossible. The growing baby changed everything. 7 months into the pregnancy, Princess Yuna could no longer hide her condition. Her belly was round, but that wasn't what made people stare. Her skin glowed with patterns that shifted like stars, and she moved with a grace that made even the most elegant aliens look clumsy. The coalition of elder species demands this council take action, said Ambassador Rock, his purple skin dark with anger. This human-mock hybrid threatens the natural order of our galaxy. The emergency council session had been called to discuss what many were now calling the human problem. Commander Sung stood beside Princess Yuna, his hand never leaving hers. What exactly do you fear? Sung asked the gathered ambassadors. A healthy child? We fear the unknown, replied the Zith ambassador, his scales shimmering. No cross-species pregnancy has been allowed in 12,000 years. Elder Nari floated forward in her gravity chair. Allowed? Or possible? She turned to face the council. I have studied the ancient records. The elder species made laws against mixing not because it was dangerous, but because they couldn't do it themselves. Angry shouts filled the chamber. King Tay slammed his staff for order. Explain, he commanded. The oldest species in our galaxy have reached an evolutionary dead end, Elder Nari said. They cannot adapt anymore. Their birth rates drop each century. But humans, she gestured to Sung, humans are still evolving. Their DNA can bond with other species. Dr. June stepped forward with mock scientist Juan beside him. Together they had studied the pregnancy for months. We have proof, Dr. June said. Princess, Yuna's pregnancy should have failed in the first month. Instead, the human genes in the baby helped her body adapt. The child takes the best qualities from both parents. Juan nodded. Our scans show the baby will have human creativity and problem-solving abilities, combined with mock strength and longevity. So what? Shouted Ambassador Rock. One unusual child means nothing. It means everything, said a new voice. Queen Sue, of the Lyra Federation, walked slowly to the center of the chamber. Her species was known for their beauty and wisdom, but also for their declining numbers. My people have not had a new child born in 50 years, Queen Sue said quietly. We face extinction within a century. Many species here face the same fate. She turned to look at Sung and Yuna. If human genes can adapt to mock biology, perhaps they can help save my people too. The chamber went silent as her words sank in. Then Ambassador Rock laughed harshly. So now we should all breed with humans? Become a galaxy of mongrels? Better than a galaxy of fossils, King Tay said suddenly. Everyone turned to him in surprise. The king had been mostly silent about his daughter's pregnancy until now. King Tay stood from his throne and walked to Yuna. He placed his hand gently on her belly. I felt the child kick, he said with wonder, strong like a true mock. He looked at Sung. And creative, like its human father. He turned to face the council. For too long, we have seen differences as weakness. We separate, we stay pure, and we slowly die. He gestured to Yuna. My daughter shows us another path, adaptation, growth, future. This is madness, Ambassador Rock sputtered. You would pollute your royal bloodline for survival. King Tay finished. Yes. He took Sung's hand and placed it with Yuna's between his own. I recognize this human as my daughter's mate, and as a prince of the mock empire. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Such recognition was unprecedented. Queen Sue stepped forward. The Lyra Federation stands with the mock empire in this matter. One by one, other species joined them. Some remained opposed, especially the elder species, but they were outnumbered. As the council argued, Una suddenly gasped and grabbed her belly. "The baby," she whispered to Sung. "It's coming now." Dr. June rushed to her side. "But it's too early." "No," Una said with certainty. "It's perfect timing." While the council continued to debate the future of the galaxy, the future itself was ready to be born. The baby's cry silenced the entire council chamber. No one had expected the birth to happen right there, during the most important political debate in centuries. Dr. June and Juan worked quickly, helping Princess Una deliver her child in front of representatives from 1,000 worlds. "It's a boy," Dr. June announced, holding up the tiny infant. The baby had soft gray skin with faint patterns that shifted like starlight. His eyes opened, golden like his mother's, but shaped like his father's. A tuft of black hair crowned his small head. "Han," Una whispered, naming her son. "His name is Han." Commander Sung knelt beside them, tears in his eyes as he touched his son's hand for the first time. The tiny fingers wrapped around his thumb with surprising strength. King Tae stepped forward slowly. The great Mach leader looked down at his grandson with wonder in his silver eyes. "The first of a new line," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "Neither human nor Mach, but something greater than both." Elder Nari floated close to examine the child. "Perfect," she said. Both species joined in harmony. Not everyone shared their joy. Ambassador Rock and several elder species representatives left the chamber in protest, but many stayed, drawn by curiosity and hope. Baby Han grew faster than either human or Mach children normally would. By his first birthday, he could walk and speak simple words in both languages. By his second year, he could read and solve math, problems meant for children twice his age. "His brain development is extraordinary," Dr. June explained to a group of scientists who had come from 20 different worlds to study the child. "He processes information like a human, but has the memory, capacity of a Mach." Han's physical abilities were just as impressive. He had the strength of a young Mach but moved with human flexibility. Most surprising was his empathic ability. He could sense the emotions of those around him, a trait neither humans nor Machs possessed. "A new ability," Juan said with excitement. His mixed genetics created something entirely new. As word spread about Han's gifts, attitudes throughout the galaxy began to change. Species that had once mocked the human-Mach union now sent representatives to learn more. Some even requested permission to try cross-species partnerships of their own. Queen Su of the Lyra Federation was the first to formally request human genetic assistance. Her people had been dying out for generations. "If human adaptability can work with Mach biology, perhaps it can help save my people too," she said. The Galactic Council established the Hybrid Research Initiative with Commander Sung and Princess Una as its leaders. Their work focused on helping endangered species find compatible partners to strengthen their genetic lines. 5 years after Han's birth, King Tae called for a special ceremony. The Great Council chamber was filled with representatives from every corner of the galaxy. "Today," King Tae announced, "I name my grandson Han as heir to the Mach Empire." He placed a small silver crown on the boy's head. Han stood straight and tall, though he was only 5 years old. His golden eyes looked out at the thousands of beings watching him. "I will serve all people," Han said in a clear voice. "Human, Mach, and everyone in our galaxy." Commander Sung and Princess Una stood behind their son, pride shining in their eyes. What had begun as mockery had become a new hope for countless species. That evening, as Han slept in his royal chambers, Sung and Una stood together looking out at the stars. "They laughed at us," Sung said, remembering those difficult early days. "Now they understand," Una replied, leaning against him. "Our differences weren't weakness. They were strength waiting to be discovered." In the years that followed, hundreds of hybrid children were born throughout the galaxy. Each one carried the spark of hope that Han had first brought into the universe, proof that differences could join to create something beautiful and new. The dynasty that began with mockery would change the stars forever.